My father labeled my profession disgraceful and excluded me from the family inheritance. Later, he had the audacity to request $120,000 when my brother ran the family business into the ground. Greetings, everyone. I'm Henry. I run a pet care chain in New York, and at 30, my job is stable and lucrative. My home, car, and cozy workplace, bathed in sunlight, let me work late into the night. Some might think I'm fortunate. A supportive, tight-knit family behind me. Except I don't have one. Maybe I did, until a year ago when I walked away. I can still picture standing in a bustling family gathering, declaring, "I don't fit here anymore." It wasn't a choice made lightly. When you're teetering on the edge of silence and disillusionment, you face a choice. Push forward or break free. I'm sharing this not to point fingers or justify myself, but to remind myself that to truly live, you must be ready to let go of what once seemed unthinkable. I left my family on Easter Sunday last year, with no regrets. After weeks of cold spring rain, the sun finally broke through, drying the damp streets. I drove out of Manhattan early, passing people heading to church, quietly relieved to be reuniting with family. For me, being punctual means arriving 15 minutes early, and that day was no exception. When I reached the house, it buzzed with chatter and laughter, more crowded than past holidays, filled with relatives, some familiar, others just faces. My mother hinted that Dad had a major announcement but didn't elaborate. Mom adored chocolate mousse cake from a little Brooklyn bakery, so I placed it on the kitchen counter. In recent years, I'd brought small tokens, wine, artisanal pastries, or her favorite flowers. These gestures didn't bridge our growing gap, but I hoped they showed I was still trying to be the son she remembered. 20 minutes later, the festivities began as usual. Glasses clinked, the aroma of grilled steak and roasted potatoes filled the air, and conversations drifted to property markets, investments, and children's schools. I sat quietly at the table's edge, eating, listening, but not engaging. I didn't feel the need to. Half an hour after everyone settled, my father stood, raising his wine glass with the commanding tone he reserved for big moments. "Everyone, please, a moment," he said, and the room fell silent. He announced, "We've made a decision. As of today, all family assets, the business, stocks, properties, will pass to Matteo." The room froze. My pulse slowed. As expected, applause erupted. Loud, eager, almost rehearsed. My mother spoke next, her face glowing with purpose. "Matteo's been with the family business for 5 years, and he's the one to take it forward," she said. I stared at my water glass, its cold surface numbing my fingers, but it couldn't dull the ache in my chest. Claps pounded around me like a storm. No one asked for my thoughts. No one glanced my way. No one said, "What about Henry?" I was present, yet invisible. They'd written me out of the narrative. I knew they favored Matteo, but I hadn't anticipated this. My younger brother, Matteo, is 2 years my junior. We weren't best friends growing up, but we never clashed. My childhood felt fair. Everything was equal. 2 birthday cakes, 2 identical treat bags, 2 bikes in different colors. Punishments were shared too. When we scribbled on the walls, Mom made us both scrub every mark. No favoritism. I believed my family was just until I was 18. One September evening, sitting in the living room, I told Dad I wanted to study veterinary medicine. I'd researched programs, secured a partial scholarship, and just needed some financial help. I expected him to ask about my goals, offer guidance, or at least nod in support. Instead, he sat, arms folded, his stare icy, as if I'd betrayed him. "I'm not investing a penny in that path," he said. "If that's your choice, you're on your own." That one sentence shattered my idea of family. It was blunt, final. I couldn't fathom why my career choice felt like a betrayal. It took years to realize my dreams didn't align with their vision. After that, I was no longer the family's pride. That role shifted to Matteo. Everything changed subtly after I shared my veterinary ambitions. It wasn't loud arguments or outright rejection, but a slow, quiet drift. I faded into the background. Maybe that's the cost of straying from their plan. Still, I never abandoned them when they needed me. I sent Mom roses for Mother's Day. When Dad needed a new AC unit, I pitched in. I showed up when the business faltered. I didn't keep track, so the betrayal stung more when it came from the person I thought would never see me as an outsider, my father. A year ago, he called late one night, his voice shaky, like he'd wrestled with the decision to dial. I'll never forget his words. The company was in trouble. They needed $80,000 to avoid collapse after a major deal fell apart. I suggested formalizing my contribution in writing, but he cut me off. He reassured me with a single line. "When your mother and I are gone, you'll still have a stake in the business. It's family after all." I asked for nothing more. The next morning, I transferred $80,000 to the company account. His quiet words after a long pause were my only assurance. your mother and I are gone, you'll still have a stake. It's family. I nodded, trusting his emphasis on family. I should have demanded a contract. I should have known better. Some people only value family when they need something. At that Easter dinner, when Dad announced Mateo would inherit everything, I didn't stay silent as I had before. My voice was steady, clear. What about me? The question echoed as wine glasses paused midair. The room fell into an uneasy hush. Whispers stirred. That's right. What about Henry? He's Mateo's older brother. As the tension thickened, my mother stepped in, her gentle tone masking something cruel. Henry, you have your career, your home, your car. Mateo has nothing. I looked into her eyes and spoke softly, each word heavy. That career? I built it myself. I left at 18, figured it all out alone. I didn't take a dime from you or Dad. I earned a scholarship, worked through school, saved every penny. You paid for Mateo's tuition, his expenses, everything. And now you give him everything, like I don't exist. I'm your son, too. Before anyone could respond, Mateo chimed in smugly. Mom's right. You shouldn't be competing with me. I turned, pointing at him. Be quiet. You don't get to speak. The room went still. Then Dad slammed his hand on the table, his voice sharp, each word a blow. Enough, Henry. Mateo followed our path. You didn't. If you hadn't chosen those dirty animals, this business would have been yours. I froze. Then I snapped back. What are you talking about? That's an insult. Do you even realize those dirty animals helped me earn the $80,000 that saved your company? If you disrespect my work so much, pay me back, now. He stood, face red, eyes blazing, and shouted, I'm not giving you a cent. I brought you into this world, fed you, raised you, educated you. Do you know how much that cost? And now you're out there cleaning up after pets. You're a disgrace. When he finished, I was done. After a long pause, I spoke, voice steady. If that's how you feel, we're done. Don't come to me again. I turned to leave, then stopped. Dad, I didn't ask to be born. Don't guilt me with your sacrifices to control my path or make me carry this family. I walked out, head high, no looking back. That night, home by 9, I showered, washing away the hurt, anger, injustice. 20 minutes later, I felt lighter, clearer, but a hollow calm stayed. I made black coffee to stay up. By the window, I thought of leaving home at 18 with a suitcase, clothes, and savings. I struggled with part-time jobs, loans. My parents never checked in. My first 2 post-grad years were in a tiny apartment, scraping by. In my 3rd year, on a quiet Sunday, I made a pet care video for fun. I set my phone on books and shoeboxes, talking like a friend, and posted it online. No expectations. If someone saw it, cool. If not, fine. 2 days later, it went viral. Nearly 3 million views in 48 hours. I thought it was a glitch. Comments and messages showed people wanted my knowledge. I made more videos to share, not for profit. A month later, I earned $2,000 from ads and sponsorships. I stared at the number, shocked, thinking it was a dream. But it grew. 9 months later, 1 million YouTube subscribers. A year later, 2 million followers across platforms. Pet brands offered partnerships, sponsorships, product reviews. It wasn't a hobby anymore. With community support, I opened Whisker and Paw, a pet care store named for the kindness I never got as a kid. The first store thrived. Maybe it was my early video fans or my genuine care for clients, human and animal. Soon I hired staff, expanded hours, opened a second location. 4 years later, Whisker and Paw had 7 stores across New York with 30 employees, some from the start, others new, all like family I built myself.